Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and we are from UrbanDigs, and it is Monday, so you're going to get your Brooklyn weekly market update. John, let's get right to it. I'm looking at Brooklyn supply, 3,085. Show me that chart.
That's right, Noah. That's about 2% up from last week. And supply in Brooklyn has been doing what it's been doing for the last several months, which is going sideways.
Sideways, yeah, and this is the listing season, so I mean, we really do want to see more stuff come on, but it's just not the case in Brooklyn. So we'll keep an eye on that, Johnny. Pending sales, the Brooklyn measure of demand, 3122. There is still more stuff in contract than there is for sale, and that's why the market pulse is right over 1. But Johnny, for pending sales, show us that weekly chart.
Yeah, it's 3122. We're down nearly 4%, but we're still, I mean, as you mentioned, we're still well above any kind of normal in Brooklyn. And it's just sort of deflating here, but it's not really making any moves one way or the other quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we have to understand where we're coming from, right? And we're coming from stratospheric levels. I can't believe I got that word right, John. And we are coming down. But then again, I would like to remind everyone that September is our seasonally weakest calendar month of the year, right? First, the listings are supposed to pile in, and then October, November is when they get gobbled up. So the fact that this is going down temporarily, I'm not putting much weight into it, considering the seasonality element, and that's why. So let's move over to those weeklies, and maybe we'll see that seasonality, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. John, supply 296, it's down. It should be going a lot up. Show us that chart.
It is down. I mean, look, last week we had a huge number of Brooklyn listings hit the market for over 400. This week it's under 300, and that's a big drop. That's less than it was last year. It's still sort of right around a little bit higher than where you'd expect to see for a September fresh listing kind of thing, but it's a big drop from last week, and it kind of suggests that the sellers, they may have already been out there. It might just be one and done kind of thing. We'll see.
Maybe they're a little exhausted. I don't know. I mean, you know, September's that month. So, I mean, we want to see higher numbers come in. We'll see where this goes, I guess, as the next week goes on. But buyers must be a little frustrated in Brooklyn that there's not more stuff coming on. Let's just see what happens. 1 week does not make a trend. Contract signed, 123. That is also down. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, that's down like 30% from the prior week. And that's, no, it looks like that. Like, I think that's like the weakest week in Brooklyn we've had in the last 6 months. And this could be the buyers getting a little bit frustrated, as you mentioned. I mean, of course, September is, as you stated earlier, sort of the slowest month of the year in terms of contract volume. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. 123 deals, slowest in 6 months. But again, we just had that infusion of supply, not as much as we'd hoped, but that's probably going to trigger some deals in the next few weeks. Let's see how that plays out.
That's usually how it works. Yeah, in October, November, that's usually when those deals get signed. So I would expect this number to be in the bottoming process, if anything, and then start to inch up higher as September gets closer to October, Johnny. Let's go outside of UrbanDigs. Let's look at the chart of the day, the chart du jour, Johnny. We're looking at Brooklyn negotiability at the time of the deal. Very important that you guys understand at the time of the deal. We are not looking at when it's sold and closed. Right. We were looking at it when it was contract signed. So we're bridging that gap a little bit. And this is what it looks like. And it's very interesting because, you know, you could see the slowdown right over here and this little blip up, right? Right over here, we're coming up a little bit right over there. Yeah. We're coming off of the lows, but still, Johnny, a 2.5% discount from, I mean, that's big. Sellers are getting 97.5% of their asking price. So,
yeah, and basically what you see here, that low dip, that was sort of the peak in terms of contract signs for Brooklyn, right around there. So there's still intense competition, and that's exactly what this is showing. I mean, these are medians, right? This is half or above, half or below, and you look at the co-ops, one below 2%. So if you're a seller, either way here, frankly, if you're a seller in Brooklyn, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, and let's go take a look at those property types. Let's split them up. And here now you got condos in black and they got red co-ops. Okay, so this is a similar type of chart here. And take a look at this guy right over here. That is co-ops. Okay, at the time of the deal going negative, which is now, again, this is like an early look. All right, there's still 200 plus deals in that bucket. So it's not like there's no data in it. But that is a telling surprise. Condos are kind of doing the trend that the market's doing, but co-ops, for whatever reason, are starting to pop.
Yeah, and that's it's really interesting. That's the first time we've seen that in several years to see co-ops sort of go negative here. And again, it just points to the environment in Brooklyn's. And if you're selling a co-op, the supply is so starved that you have people on a median paying over ask, and that's just. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's fantastic if you're a seller, but, you know, you talk about bringing people out, lowering prices. Sometimes, as you said, no, the cure for higher prices is higher prices. And this is the kind of thing that leads to higher prices.
Yeah, I mean, the market is what the market is, and it does what it wants, whatever it wants to do it there. So, I mean, it's a combination of the inventory and the demand, and the buyers will just get into this emotional state, and they'll do what they got to do to get the property that they need at the time. It's different sitting here looking at the numbers versus when you're an actual buyer with a real need to buy something, and you're sitting there with very few options to go choose from, and then you find that perfect apartment, right? And you want to get it. So this is what it is. Brooklyn is certainly a hybrid market, acting very stable, very strong. I mean, the overall general thing here is that this slowdown that we're reporting on is very seasonal. So let's just look at it in terms of seasonality, and let's see what happens over the coming weeks, because this is when the ramp up in deal volume is supposed to happen into October and November.
Right.
Thank you, John Walker, for pulling all that data. I am Noah Rosenblatt. We're both from UrbanDigs. Please do not forget, if you got questions, we got answers. Check out our forum right there. Other than that, we wish you a great week, and we'll catch you next time.